Unit 3. Direction and location.
Listening activity number 19. Look at the graph below. This graph shows the numbers of people who visited London Zoo, Kew Gardens and Regent's Park from 1978 to 1987. Mark in the names London Zoo, Kew Gardens and Regent's Park on the appropriate lines on the graph. Now listen carefully.
The graph shows the numbers of visitors to London Zoo, Kew Gardens and Regent's Park from 1978 to 1987. Apart from the period from 1980 to 1983, London Zoo has been the most popular attraction. In 1978, almost 60,000 people visited the zoo. Although this number decreased slowly during the next 3 years, it then rose gradually until 1985. In this year, a children's zoo was opened, resulting in a sharp rise from 70,000 to 95,000 within 1 year. In contrast, in 1979 to 1981, the number of visitors to Kew Gardens increased after a restaurant had been opened in 1979 from 48,000 to 64,000. But then it dropped steadily to approximately 45,000 in 1986. The least popular attraction was Regent's Park, with only 26,000 visitors in 1978. This number rose only slightly in 1981. But in 1983, boating was introduced on the lake, and the number of visitors rose quite suddenly from almost 30,000 to 40,000 within 1 year. Unfortunately, however, the number levelled off in 1984 and has remained steady since then. Listening activity number 20. Look at the graph below. This one shows the numbers of visitors to Exhibition Centre, Museum and Art Gallery. Mark in the names Exhibition Centre, Museum and Art Gallery on the appropriate lines on the graph.
Exhibition Centre is the most popular attraction. In 1978, almost 40,000 people visited the Exhibition Centre, although this number dropped slowly during the next 5 years. In 1983, the number of visitors was a little over 35,000. It then increased suddenly until 1984. In this year, a restaurant was opened, resulting in a sharp rise from 37,000 to almost 50,000 within 2 years. The number of visitors to the museum was about 25,000. This was better than the number to the art gallery, which was only 15,000 in 1978. It then decreased steadily until 1982. The number was the same as the number of visitors to the art gallery. That was about 18,000. In 1983, a building extension was open, and the number of visitors to the museum began to level off at 17,000 visitors each year. The least popular attraction was the art gallery. In 1979, the number dropped slowly from 15,000 to less than 12,000. But in 1980, free admission was carried out, so the number of visitors increased suddenly from 12,000 to 25,000. It then levelled off since then. There is a slight rise every year.
Unit 4. Answering questions and multiple choice.
Listening activity number 1. Listen to a telephone conversation and indicate whether the following statements are true or false by writing T for true, F for false, and N if the statement is not mentioned in the conversation.
Operator, can I help you?
I'm calling from a payphone in Ealing Shopping Centre. I've been trying to get through to a number for the past 15 minutes, but I keep getting a funny noise.
Are you sure it's the right number, sir?
Yes, I've checked in the telephone book. Are the lines busy?
What kind of sound are you getting?
A continuous humming sound.
Did you put in enough money?
Yes, I put in the correct amount.
What number are you calling, sir?
567-0802.
I'm sorry, sir. Could you repeat that once more slowly, please?
567-0802.
Ah, that explains it then. We've been having a lot of trouble with that area because of crossed lines. One moment, and I'll try and get the number for you. I'm just trying to connect you, sir. Your number's ringing now. Put in 20p, please.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please.
Listening activity number 2. You are going to hear some announcements. As you listen, answer the questions below.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for a moment, please. I have the final notices for this final session of the conference. Now, first of all, I'd like to mention that the cross-cultural session has been very popular, so we're moving the final discussion to room 203. That's room 203, which means that the grammar session will be changed from room 203 to room 302. That's the grammar session in room 302. I hope everybody's got that. Now I have a notice here that you must return your keys to the reception desk before you leave. Thank you. Turning now to your discussion records, I would like to see you return them to the session chair people by 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's 1600 hours. Thank you. Regarding coaches for the airport, they will be gathering outside the main building at 3:30. That's 15:30 hours. And there will be another one a little later than that at 16 hours. That's 17:50. And 5:15. I'd like to ask you all to be there, ready for the buses, at least 5 minutes before the departure times, so we can all leave promptly and everybody will get home on time. Thank you. I have particular messages for Professor Hurst and Professor Cole and Professor Malnerchuk. I'd like to ask you three, are you here? Professor Hurst, Professor Cole? Yes, and Professor Malnerchuk. I'd like to ask you to collect your reprints from the conference desk before you leave. Thank you. Finally, I have a reminder from Professor Olson of Leeds University that the 6th annual convention of EFL will be held in Bangkok, October 2006. I think you'll all be interested in marking that date on your calendar. That's the 6th annual convention of EFL, October 2006. And I'd like anybody that's interested in that conference to leave your name at the conference desk. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it has been a very happy event for me, this conference, and I hope that you too have found it a happy and productive time. Thank you all for coming.
Listening activity number 3. Listen to a conversation carefully and answer the questions.
There's a letter here for you, Mum.
Thanks, Jane. Oh no, not another telephone bill. I hope it's not as much as last time.
How much is it?
£130.94 for 3 months. How can it be so much? Your father and I hardly make any calls. You must have been using the phone all the time.
Only to speak to my friends.
Jane, I don't think you realize just how much it costs when you telephone your school friends, and you speak to them for so long, especially during the day. Why can't you call them after 6 p.m. when it is cheaper? Your father's going to be so upset when he finds out.
I'm sorry.
Well, being sorry isn't just good enough. I've told you often enough not to use the telephone so much. If you had to pay the bill, you wouldn't be so irresponsible with the telephone. You see your friends every day. Why do you need to phone them up as well?
Hello.
Hello. Look at this bill for the telephone. Jane has been phoning all her friends again.
£130.94 for 3 months. Jane, this has got to stop. We both told you the last time to be more responsible when phoning your friends, and not to take so long speaking to them. It costs too much. You'll have to pay half of this bill out of your wages from your Saturday job.
But Dad, that's not fair.
To teach you that the phone costs a lot of money, you'll have to pay half of this bill. You're lucky I'm not going to make you use the phone box down the road to make your calls.
OK, but it'll take me weeks to pay your half of £130.94.
We may have to get one of those phone locks, and I'll keep the key. Then you won't be able to make any calls.
Listening activity number 4. You're going to hear a talk about underground tickets in London. Look at questions 1 to 8. Now listen to the talk and answer questions 1 to 8.
Underground tickets are available at all underground stations. Ticket prices for the underground vary according to the distance you travel. The network is divided into 5 zones, a central zone and 4 outer zones. Generally, your fare will increase the more zones you travel through. You must buy your ticket before you start your journey from a ticket office or machine. Keep your ticket for inspection and collection at your destination. The easiest and most economical way to travel around London is with a travel card. This gives you the freedom of London's trains, tubes, and buses in whichever zones you choose. It's perfect for the visitor because one ticket combines travel on the trains of Networth South East with the Underground, Dockland Light Railway, and most of London's buses. It's more convenient than buying separate tickets for each journey. Travel cards are available from any train or tube station. A one-day travel card is ideal for a day's shopping, sightseeing, and all tourist trips in London. You can travel anywhere you'd like within the vast 650 square mile travel card area. No need to keep queuing for tickets or carry a pocket full of change for ticket machines. Just use whatever form of transport suits you best for any combination of trips. One-day travel cards can be bought from staffed train or tube stations after 9:30 a.m. at weekdays and any time at weekends. Travel card season tickets include 7-day, monthly and annual tickets. This is the modern, convenient and flexible ticket for your daily journey to work. For travel card season tickets, please bring a passport-sized photograph with you. Smoking is not allowed anywhere on the Underground. Smoking is permitted, however, on the back of upper deck of buses.
Listening activity number 5. You're going to hear a talk about looking for a job. Now look at the questions 1 to 8. Now listen to the talk and answer questions 1 to 8.
Look, here's one that might interest you.
What is it? Are you sure? The last one you sent me off to was a disaster.
Yes, look. It says they want a junior sales manager, and it looks like it's a big international company. That would be good. You might get to travel.
What kind of company is it, though?
Let's see. Yes, it's a textile company that seems to import from abroad. That's odd, isn't it? What else? They say the salary is really good. They operate a system of paying you a basic salary and then offering a sales commission on top of that. They say it's high. And, oh look, they give you a car to travel around in. Gosh, that's not bad, is it?
Do they say anything about experience?
Let's see. No, they want someone young with ambition and enthusiasm. Oh yes, they want graduates. So that's okay. You've been to university. Now, what else? Let's see.
There must be some catch.
No, the only thing is that you have to travel. But then that's what the company car's for. Oh, and you have to be able to get on well with other people, 'cause it says you have to be good on a team.
Perhaps I'll have a closer look at that one.
Listening activity number 6. You will listen to a conversation between two friends. As you listen, answer the questions below.
Hello, Mike. What's up with you?
Oh, Tom, it's my landlady again.
You're always in trouble. What is it this time?
You see, she's left a note for me. Just read it.
Well, did you leave the front door open?
I honestly don't remember. I got back late from a party. Anyway, what does it matter? It's all complaints in that house. First noise, then the bathroom.
Well, in that case, why don't you look around for another place?
I've already started. I looked in the paper this morning. Plenty of advertisements as usual, but most of the places are too far from school.
Look, why don't you come and share with us?
But surely there are 4 of you in the flat already, aren't there?
Yes, but you know, Jane is leaving at the end of the month. She's got a job down south. There will be a spare room. It's rather small, but you can sleep there for the moment till you find a nice one.
That's a good idea. How many rooms do you have?
We have 4 bedrooms and a big living room.
What are the arrangements?
Well, we share all expenses, of course. Rent, light and heating.
What about food?
Or we each buy our own. It works out fine that way. And you can do anything you like in your own room. But there is one thing.
What's that?
Don't leave the front door open. Strange people may wander in.
All right. I promise that won't happen again. By the way, when is Jane leaving?
Let me see. Yes, this time next week.
Today is the 22nd, Tuesday. So she's leaving on the 29th. Well, I'll move in one day after she leaves.
Yes, no problem. We will get ready by then.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Listening activity number 7. You will hear a dialogue between a researcher and a chief librarian. Listen to the dialogue and answer the questions.
Good morning, Julia.
Good morning, Peter.
Do come in. You've brought the results with you, I see.
Yes, in fact, I completed the survey last week.
So I can hear the criticisms now, then?
That's right. And perhaps you'll be able to tell me what can be done about them.
I'll certainly do my best. Well, what would you like to start with?
The catalogues. I'm afraid many of the science students complain that they're incomplete and out of date. They think they're really bad. Is there anything you can do to improve things there?
Oh yes, we can either check all the cards and reprint them where necessary, or we can change to a computer system.
How much would it cost to do the first?
Oh, about £6,000.
And how long would it take?
Oh, maybe 3 months.
And how much would it cost to do the second?
Change to a computer system, yes, about £60,000.
And how long would that take?
Oh, 9 months, I'd say, about 9 months.
Thank you. Now, next I'd like to move on to the borrowing facilities. The social science students described these as rather disappointing. They complained that they were only allowed to borrow 3 books. Most of them felt they ought to be able to borrow more books, perhaps 5 or 6 for undergraduates, and up to 10 for graduates.
That may be possible.
Also, they'd like to be able to keep the books for a longer period, say 3 weeks instead of the present 2.
That also sounds reasonable. I'll see what I can do.
Listening activity number 8. You are going to hear a conversation between a student and a counsellor. Listen to the conversation and answer the questions.
Good morning. Sit down, please.
Good morning.
What can I do for you?
I've come for some advice. My name is Sophie Cole and I'm Italian. I came to this country about 6 months ago.
Yes?
And I don't know if I can use my qualifications here. Maybe I need to do another course. And then I'm worried about my English. You see, I'm worried about not understanding people very well.
I see. Well, I need to get a bit more information about you. What are you doing at the moment?
Now I'm studying English because my English is very poor.
How many hours a week?
12 hours a week.
Yes, but how many... Oh, well, never mind. What sort of job do you see yourself doing in this country?
Well, in this country, it seems that it's very difficult for me to get a job. They want experience in this country, and I haven't got any. My qualifications may not be accepted here, and with all the unemployment and everything, I'm really worried.
Yes, but what kind of work do you want to do?
I'm a civil engineer, but that's not the problem. If I have a degree, I can work for myself.
Do you have any engineering qualifications?
Yes, I studied civil engineering at the university in Rome.
Oh, when was that?
About 3 years ago.
And then, what did you do? I mean, did you have any work experience in your own country?
Oh, yes. I worked for a big company for about 2 years after the university. Now, I would like to get a master's degree in this country. But first I need to study more English.
Yes, I think you are quite right. First, you need to improve your English. Then you could start looking for a university and apply for the degree in engineering for next year. Have you enrolled in our intensive English courses?
Yes.
I suggest you study English for another 6 months, then take the IELTS test. This test will check how well your English is, and the score will be accepted by all the universities in UK. Here is the IELTS test booklet. You can get more details about this test.
That's a great help. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Listening activity number 9. You are going to hear a talk about the services in Ealing College. Look at questions 1 to 10. Now listen to the first part of the talk and answer questions 1 to 10.
Welcome to Ealing College of Higher Education. Today I'll talk about student services at the college. All student services are to be found in the North Building. Social life and some of the welfare services are run by the Student Union, of which all students are automatically members. After enrolment, take your receipt to the Student Union and they will give you your student card. Your student card also entitles you to membership in the Student and Staff Club. The Student Union will give you a handbook which gives more details on all the services offered, plus more information on the health service, accommodation, and so on. Let's talk about medical services first. ECHE has a student health centre. The centre is open from 9:30 to 8:45, Monday to Thursday, and from 9:30 to 5 on Fridays during term time. The college doctor, Dr. B. Kierans, holds a surgery in the medical centre 4 days a week, Monday and Tuesday mornings, Thursday afternoons, and either Wednesday or Friday afternoons. The nurse will tell you which one on any particular week. Appointments for these are made through the nurses and are usually for the following day. Outside of these times, Dr. Kearns can be found at her surgery, which is located at number 2 Ascot Avenue, W5, very close to college. During your stay in England, you must register with a local doctor, and if you live in the London Borough of Ealing, you can register with Dr. Cairns.
Listening Activity number 10. You will hear the last part of the talk about the services in the college. Now look at questions 1 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the talk and answer questions 1 to 10.
Last time I talked about the student services in the college. Today I'd like to talk about the counselling services. The college counselling service is located in the North Building. The counsellors are Miss Penny Rawson and Miss Ann David. I've asked Ms. Rawson to join us today to discuss their role. Ms. Rawson.
Thank you. Both Anne and I are full-time counsellors. Students either come to us on their own or are referred to us by a tutor. We see students individually, run group therapy sessions and courses of sessions as we think necessary. We are here to help with any problems, no matter how great or small, such as homesickness, relationship difficulties, death and separation, sexual problems, undue stress due to work, and so on. You will not be the first to be homesick, find college life stressful, or decisions problematic, so please don't hesitate to come and have a chat if there's anything bothering you. This is a confidential service, but we are willing to arrange with your course directors, your tutors, student union officers, career department or doctors. We can also put you in touch with outside counselling services. As a part of the university, all counselling is free of charge for full-time students. I know some of you may feel that seeing a counsellor has a stigma attached to it, but let me assure you, even the best balanced individuals encounter situations where they need someone to talk with, so please don't hesitate. You're welcome to make use of this service. We hope you will enjoy your studies at the university. Thank you.